Hey guys, Paolo from CongaChops.com here, and welcome back to our Quick Tip Lesson Series. We're releasing new tutorials each Wednesday and working on some different fills, phrases, and concepts that you can incorporate into your conga playing. Now, I just want to remind you that these particular lessons are geared towards players with a bit of experience. So if you're completely new to the instrument, please take a second to swing by CongaChops.com and check out our Congas 101 and Conga Fundamentals courses before you jump in. And if you haven't already, show us some love by giving this video a like, subscribing to our channel, and turning on your notifications so you know when our next lesson drops. This week, we're going to work on a couple of simple fills that we can use to add a bit of intensity in the up section of an arrangement. Now, remember that the fills we'll work on today and in the following weeks will take us away from our tumbao pattern a bit and create some tension within the groove, and should therefore be used sparingly in our playing, generally only once in an entire song. So we'll check out our shorter fill first, and then use that same shape as inspiration to work on a bit longer fill. So for the first fill, we'll start off by using the and of 3 on the 2 side of the clave as our jumping off point. Since we'll be working on a 4-bar phrase in 2-3 clave, our fill will start in the 3rd bar. Let's check it out. So I decided to play a little open tone flam on the and of 4 in the 4th bar of the phrase, just to switch things up a bit. But you can of course feel free to play a single open tone there instead. Now, this fill can be a bit tricky to pull off at first, so take a second to work out the sticking, and make sure you take the time to go back and listen to the example and clap the clave along so you can really start to understand where the accents lie in respect to the pulse and the clave. Now, because this fill is pretty busy and takes us away from our tumbao pattern, we have to make sure that we're very careful with where we decide to play it in the course of a song so that we don't clash with any of the other instruments or vocals. For this next fill, we're going to use the 4th bar of our last example as the foundation, with one exception. Instead of finishing off with an open tone flam, we're going to play a low drum open tone on the and of 4 to lead us into an open tone on the downbeat of the following bar. We'll also completely switch up what we're playing in the previous 2 bars to create a new, longer, and more involved fill. So you can see that we took that same 3-note shape from the 4th bar of the phrase, a low drum open tone followed by 2 open tones, and played it in the 3rd bar starting on the and of 2 instead of the and of 1. Now, using small figures as inspiration and displacing them within a longer phrase or fill gives us a sense of continuity and allows us to develop a motif to use within our playing. Now, this is something that you hear across music from all eras and genres, the repetition and variation of small figures or motifs, whether they be rhythmic, melodic, or harmonic, to help create longer phrases that can complement and at times act as counterpoint to one another. So now that we're comfortable with the sticking and the tones and where the accents lie, let's work on these back-to-back as an 8-bar phrase over one of our exclusive Conga Chops practice loops. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of these fills can work great in specific situations. We just have to make sure that we're paying attention to the clave, of course the style we're playing in, and what the rest of the band is playing. Now, these can work well in certain sections where the conga has a bit more space to play freely in a Latin jazz setting, for example, or tastefully placed in a modern salsa or even an old school salsa context. One of my personal favorite conga players that uses these types of longer fills tastefully and with incredible facility and swing is the legendary Papo Pepin. You can check out some of his incredible and super swinging playing on some old school records like Rafael de Jesus' En Grande and Tito Allen's Untouchables, as well as in a more modern early timba context on Isaac Delgado's Otra Idea. His aggressively creative yet tasteful style of conga playing paved the way for many of my favorite congueros in these genres, which belong to the generation just after his, such as Mark Quiñones, Bobby Allende, Sammy Garcia, Jimmy Morales, Jorge Delgado, and Luisito Quintero. Now these are all household names that every percussionist should be hip to, so if you haven't already, take a second to research each one and really dive into their unique playing styles. Remember that you might use the types of fills we covered in this lesson just to add some intensity to a particular phrase or section, or as a musical response to something that's played by any of the other instruments in the band, including the vocals. So try to see if you can spot where these types of fills may be used as you're listening along to your favorite recordings. Always paying attention to any contributing factor that you feel may have influenced the conga player's decision to play a particular fill or phrase. Now by doing this, you'll start to develop an understanding for when these types of fills can be natural to play throughout the course of an arrangement. If you're interested in learning more about what we do on Conga Chops and how we can help you take your playing to the next level, come check us out at congachops.com. We've got an incredible library of step-by-step courses and lessons, over 10 hours of exclusive practice loops, hand-picked Spotify playlists for every pertinent course and lesson on the site, and an amazing community forum where you can meet and discuss with other members, as well as get one-on-one feedback on everything you're working on. Just click the link below to start your free 7-day trial and see what it's all about. Now please don't forget to show your support for our channel by giving this video a like, leaving a comment down below as to what you'd like to see me cover next, and hitting subscribe so you can catch our new videos each week. I'll see you in the next lesson.